Look, y'all already know me. I can't go anywhere without picking up a new piece of art, a little trinket, a poster, something for the crib. That's why the other art fair, that's a dangerous place for me. It's 4 days of independent artists, thousands of original artwork starting at around $100. Even if you're not trying to buy something, you can meet the artists, attend workshops and interactive installations, or, hang around for the mini golf, the DJ sets, and the fully stocked bar. Add the other art fair to your calendar. It's October 30th through November 2nd at Artifact Events in Ravenswood, and tickets start at just $20. Book your tickets online at theotherartfair.com. Fasten your seatbelts for an all areas access conversation spanning a decade inside Formula One with none other than former Haas F1 team principal Gunther Steiner. Unfiltered Live is an event no Formula One fan, hell, no racing fan should miss. The star of Netflix's smash hit docuseries Drive to Survive will take you on a wild ride through his career in motorsports and his decade of working on the Haas team. And it's for one night only. November 15th, Unfiltered Live at the Cadillac Palace Theater. Tickets at BroadwayInChicago.com. Today on CityCast Chicago. Almost every day, it seems like some outsider who ain't never been to Chicago, ain't never lived in Chicago, got something negative to say about this city. So, let's remember some of the things we actually love and appreciate about our city. It's Tuesday, October 22nd. I'm Jacoby Cochran, and this is what Chicago's talking about. Back in March, in honor of our 1000th episode, we released a list of 1,000 things we love about Chicago. Yes, there are actually 1,000 things on it. You can read it at the link in our show notes. And next time you see one of us, ask us for a poster. Given that the president and his allies are constantly trying to paint Chicago as a hellhole, we figure it'd be a perfect time to revisit our conversation where we go through some of the list and hear from actual Chicagoans. Let's bring in producer Michelle Navarro. Michelle, welcome back to the mic.
Hey, Jacoby.
What was your favorite thing on the list? I know it's hard to kind of maybe whittle down to like your absolute favorite, but what's some of the things that every time you see it, it makes you smile?
One of my favorites on the list has to be when house music plays at the function. This has to be my favorite because I've had the pleasure to be at many events in the city of Chicago. And it's just every time house music plays somewhere, whether you're at the club, you're at the bar, a festival, anywhere, it's just the energy just shifts and changes. Everyone knows that we're about to get down, we're about to have fun. And I love this one particularly when I'm outside of the city, outside of the country, when I'm anywhere and I'm outside and I hear house music playing, I feel so, especially if I know I'm probably one of the few Chicagoans in there, I feel so special and just my head gets so big because I'm like, yeah, I know y'all love house music and that's us. I get to claim it,
I'm glad that you mentioned this one. Every time, not only when I hear house music, do I thank Chicago, thank all the DJs, but I think back to this episode we did a few years ago with DJ Lori Branch and archivist Lauren Lowry, where we talked about Chicago's history, contributions, the birth of house music in Chicago, Black, brown, queer clubs, and it's one of my favorites to listen to because the audio of it, there's this part where Lori's narrating, walking into the club and the music is slowly coming up. One of my absolute favorite episodes, but this theme shows up time and time again. One of my favorites was number 28, Garage Juke Parties. I actually put this on the list because I think back to being in the 4th grade, going to my homie Chris Cheney house. He lived off of Washington over in Ashburn. My late father lived around the corner. And my first ever juke party when I was in the 4th grade, my mom took me to the mall and I could only get one new thing. And I ended up with this all white Atlanta Falcons Michael Vick bucket hat. It did not survive the night in terms of staying clean and white because it was on a garage floor. We was in a garage, like trying to hold up while you getting juked on a nasty garage wall. That bucket had got ruined. I had the Michael Vick jersey shirt. I had like some long jorts on. Y'all, I still
jorts.
remember that bucket hat to this day. So that was one of the first times I can remember listening to house music in a party. To this day, my homie Chris Cheney be at the farmer's market now, like serving up bread. Shout out to Breadhead Bakery.
Things do change. Yeah, I think another one, a listener and a close friend of mine, Giselle, wrote in. She said collecting lightning bugs in the summer with my cousins when we were little. And this was a throwback because this was one of my favorite activities. You know, it just really reminds you of them summer nights when you were outside and all you had to worry about was nothing because you were a kid. You didn't have to worry about anything. Thinking about being outside with my neighbors, like all the kids on the block, and just like collecting lightning bugs, it's such a good memory that I have. And it's something that I did again and again every summer until, I don't know, it sucks. It's like, what was the last lightning bug I caught? I don't remember, but it just stopped.
I definitely did last summer because I swear the last few I've been asking, like, where is all the lightning bugs at? They do not feel like they are out and about like they was when we was kids. Hey, shout out to Giselle V. This is your friend. I've been wondering who this was because they on here a couple of times.
That's
522, collecting lightning bugs. 876, the sound of seagulls in the summer. 934, my Pozole lady Lupita. 84, my neighborhood rooster. And then the random churches and neighborhoods at 91. So shout out to Giselle V, G. Like we said, today isn't all about us and our favorites. We're going to be hearing from other Chicagoans just like Giselle about things they love about the city. So where do you want to start?
So I really wanted to talk to Chicagoans, and it was cold and raining as Chicago be. And so I was like, we're going to go downtown where I can be indoors. And I'm pretty sure there's going to be people walking around leisurely and will have the time to talk to me. And so I hadn't been to Navy Pier since high school. And I thought maybe this would be the time to try to get some people who can talk to me about things they love about Chicago.
You said two birds, one stone. I ain't been to Navy Pier, so I'm going to use work as a reason to go back, see what that renovation hitting for, and then see if I can get some people.
Exactly. And so luckily there was people out there to talk to me. And so here are some of the voices.
My name is Jaden. One thing I love about Chicago is just the architecture. And it's just, Chicago has one of the most beautiful architectures out there.
Hi, my name is Jessica. I live in the Wicker Park area. I love Chicago just for the summertime. If you're here during the summertime, it's the best time to be here. The Riverwalk and all the things we have downtown, like for kids and adults, everything's just great. And even the boat rides down are amazing.
My name is John. I'm from the north side of Chicago, Cabrini Green Projects. Favorite restaurant to eat is a lot of taco places. I like Mexican food. Raymond Tacos on Blue Island.
He brought up Raymond's Tacos on Blue Island, which is a very good taco spot. Also, what I love about that taco spot and what I think it makes them very different is that you can get cheese on your tacos. And I'm not talking about like Mexican, like queso fresco. No, like you could get a slice of American cheese in between the two tortillas and get the meat on top. And this is something that's a little controversial. But I will say it is delicious.
I love the taco variations in the city because on one hand, I love when people are like, no, it's just onion, cilantro, the meat should be good, and a little bit of sauce. Like, I like cool.
Classic.
But gee, you know, I grew up in a household where it was iceberg lettuce, like cheese, tomatoes, onions. It was, I ain't gonna lie, it was Taco Bell. And so I appreciate that you can also get like the American taco in Chicago and it is still good.
And again, it's not like your American, like Tex-Mex hard shell. Like you're still getting the same. The meat is prepared as Mexicans prepare it. You still get the cilantro, the onion, the salsa, but that that slice of American cheese in between the two tortillas really be hitting when you need that. And Raymond's Tacos is open late, which is also pretty great.
My name is Kiara. I stay on the Chicago South Side, and my favorite thing to do is go out and have fun and eat.
Come on.
I mean, that's just like my favorite thing to do. Go out, have fun, and eat.
And I'm glad that when she said that can mean anything for anybody. It could depend on the week, the season. I'm trying to go outside. I'm trying to have fun, and I'm trying to eat something. And that could mean something different. But yeah, I like that she was like, "What you think? What you think I love about Chicago? It's fun, and I can eat good food."
Hi, my name is Stephanie. I'm also from the Wicker Park area. One thing I love about Chicago has to be the community, like the people. Like you could go to a store twice and they will always remember you. I just love how friendly Chicago is, for sure.
I love when people remind us that people here are actually very nice. I think I think Chicagoans tend to forget that. But we're friendly people, which I really appreciated that she said that.
Some of the hardest people I know in the city are still deep down inside little sweethearts. If I'm being honest, they teddy bears. Again, we definitely have a reputation for aggressive driving and not taking people's shit, right? And standing up for ourselves. But we prefer to just be really nice to folks, at least as far as I've seen. People are very loyal here and tend to be pretty easy to talk to.
I'm Amy, and I grew up in this area and now live in Texas. And I think probably the thing I miss most is the Chicago sports teams. I'm a Sox fan, not a Cubs fan, but Bulls, Bears, Blackhawks, all the rest. So that's probably what I miss the most.
My name is Luca, and I love the sports teams like Go Bears, White Sox. Cubs are kind of bad. Go Bulls.
So clearly that family, they know where they stand.
Mm-hmm.
My name is Audrey, and I live in Riverside. And one thing I love about Chicago is having access to world-class museums and attractions. Yeah, we love the Field Museum, we love the Chicago Children's Museum, and the Adler Planetarium.
Hi, my name is Marcel. I'm from St. Louis, Missouri, and the things that I love about Chicago is just enjoying the city and seeing people walk around and having my kids walk and enjoy the city.
My name is Malachi, and I love Godzilla and King Kong.
How about Chicago? Say, I love the parks, the zoo.
Oh, I Ferris wheel.
Yeah. Say, my name is Malachi.
My name is Malachi.
And I love the Ferris wheel in Chicago.
I love the Ferris wheel in Chicago.
My name is Marcel, and one thing I love about Chicago is when I see the bean when walking, and I love walking here.
My name is Kelly, and I'm from St. Louis, Missouri. One thing that I love about Chicago are all the architectural structures in the river cruises.
No, I want to do one. My name is Marcel, and one thing I love about the Chicago is I love the buildings, and I love seeing them while walking, and I love going on the subway.
You like getting on the L, homie? I feel you. I feel it. I appreciate that you talked to some people. One person was originally from Chicago, but they stay in Texas, somebody from Riverside, and then these folks from St. Louis, because, I'm glad they weighed in. Like, this city is ours, but it doesn't just belong to us. It is for us to share with others. The city was built from immigrants coming from other places, contributing their culture. And then I also love when people come here and we hear that thing where they go, "Oh, I didn't know the lake was that big," or "Oh, I didn't know y'all had this many neighborhoods," or "Oh, I didn't know the food was so good." I love when people who sleep on Chicago come here and they immediately are woken up to how amazing this place is. And so, yeah, I love hearing from the tourists as well. We know that homelessness is a problem in Chicago and across the country, but for unhoused women and femmes, those dangers only multiply. There are proven solutions to ending chronic homelessness, permanent housing paired with supportive services. Deborah's Place is celebrating 40 years as Chicago's largest provider of permanent supportive housing for women. On Saturday, November 1st, Deborah's Place will kick off Homelessness Awareness Month with a 1.5-mile community walk. You can walk from East Garfield Park to West Humboldt Park alongside staff, supporters, and residents of Deborah's Place. Join to raise awareness for compassionate, effective solutions to homelessness. Learn more, register, or donate at deborahsplace.org. Starting to feel that draft come through your windows? Well, it's only October, so, I can imagine it's probably going to get a little bit worse as it gets breezier and colder. So get ahead before your heating bill starts to feel the blow and install top quality, affordable windows from Window Nation. Or reach out to your landlord and put them on it. You see, with a lifetime warranty and one-day installation, you can relax knowing Window Nation has you covered. Make no payments for 2 years. That's no monthly payment, no down payments, and no interest until 2027. That's a pretty solid deal, you ask me, with all this holiday spending that's coming up. Get started on your free estimate before Halloween to save big. Schedule a fast free estimate now with the pros at Window Nation. Call 866-90-NATION or visit windownation.com. I want to thank everybody who also sent us a text or a voicemail over the last couple of weeks. Here are a couple of our recent favorites.
Hey there. My name is Daniel. I live in East Hyde Park. I would say that one of my favorite things about Chicago, and specifically my area, has been Promontory Point. I'm sure that's probably already on the list of 1,000 things that we love about Chicago, probably. In addition to Promontory Point, which I love because I can, bike there and enjoy a nice picnic, and you're right next to 57th Street Beach, or 63rd Street Beach, I believe. But either way, it's beautiful, and I love seeing the seasons change via going to Promontory Point. In the fall, you get the trees, nice greens in the summer, and in the spring. But yeah, I just kind of wanted to give my opinion there. Longtime listener, big fan. And yeah, thank you for what you do.
Yeah, Promontory Point came up a few times on the list. Number 620, it was a part of seeing the skyline from different POVs. Somebody put fire pits at the point at number 873 as well. I have been to a number of parties out at Promontory Point that included a fire pit. So I'm glad that came up not only in the list, but I'm glad they left a voicemail about Promontory Point, because we are always seeing advocacy groups also coming out saying we need to continue to invest in saving Promontory Point long term. It is one of those sites that, with the forthcoming climate change impact Chicago going to see, could be in danger due to like the rising levels of the lake and other contributing factors. So, yeah, we definitely love the point. I think we got another voicemail.
Hey, my name is Jonathan Johnson. My neighborhood is South Shore, and something I love about Chicago is Small Cheval and All Cheval. The best burgers you're going to get on the planet.
That's actually my homie, John Johnson, aka John Lamont. He is one of, without a doubt, the best local filmmakers in the city of Chicago. He recently shot the Chicago State of Mind Part 1 and Part 2 for my brother Achilles. He also has a video coming out soon that features some really notable Chicagoans for a Ron Louis project, a great local designer here in the city. Small Cheval, All Cheval. I've seen John go to both of these places no less than 25 times. When they opened up the Small Cheval in Hyde Park when I was still living there, I definitely visited maybe 12 times in the first year that they were there. And so I definitely have to second the Small Cheval, All Cheval recommendation.
I have yet to go. I really need to. People have been telling me that I need to go. And
You're sleeping, Brody.
I know.
Don't wait for Small Cheval to open up a new store in your neighborhood to go, because they eventually coming. But
maybe I will wait until then.
Yeah, I'm mad this one got by me. Even though we got nearly 160 food items on the list, Small Cheval and All Cheval did get by me. That's an oversight, y'all, because I think they they are definitely one of the 1,000 things I love about Chicago. But another example that we couldn't get to every single thing, that there were going to be things that didn't just make it on the list. And so this will definitely make it into our next 1,000 things we love about Chicago list. If you've been listening to our Friday recaps, we've been asking our guests over the last couple of months some of their favorite things they love about Chicago, and here are some of those as well. First is our friend Adriana Cardona Maguigad from WBEZ.
Chicago is like such a hardcore city when it comes to organizing, covering immigration. I saw the grassroots organizing that happened when a lot of migrants were coming here about 2 years ago. And now I just been seeing just how much organizing is going around at the grassroots level, like deep grassroots, where people have been just really mobilizing to inform people about just their rights and just so much information that, it's needed. So I just really love that about Chicago.
I really love that she touched on this, because this is something that we all, as Chicagoans, we all know is true, but we don't really sit and think about how lucky we are to have, so many networks and communities that are deeply committed to protecting Chicagoans, no matter of their status. And, of course, this is when we had Adriana during a time where there was a lot of fear around ICE deportation coming to Chicago right after the inauguration in January. And so that was a time where I think we could all remember that, people were passing out Know Your Rights. People were having workshops all over the city in different languages. There was so much excellent reporting from all the Chicago journalists that we're lucky enough to get to work with sometimes, and also get to hear from and read about their work. And so that was definitely a moment where, despite it was scary and it was just a really fearful time for Chicagoans, it was really special to kind of sit back and actually hear Adriana say that, and just be reminded that there are so many people doing the work, like the Resurrection Project in Pilsen, and other, grassroots community organizations that are really just on the ground trying to protect people and make sure people are safe and secure in the city.
Mm-hmm. I was thinking about, you mentioned the Resurrection Project. That was number 709 on our list. Pilsen Community Books, number 707. Always a community space that is hosting events, Know Your Rights campaigns. I thought about the North Lawndale Employment Network at number 711. Rage Inglewood is another neighborhood organization that fights fiercely for residents and community members. That was number 680. Logan Square Mutual Aid, number 734. So there were a ton of these organizations, community spaces that do some of the hard work in this city to make sure that vulnerable community members and vulnerable members across our neighborhoods have protections, have places they can go, have people who are out here gathering resources on their behalf, advocating with and alongside them. And so it was great to see them pop up time and time again across the list. Next, also from WBEZ, is our friend Susie An.
Well, this isn't a thing to do, but I just love how Chicagoans love Chicago so much. Also probably not original, but just Chicago's food scene, whether you want to go high end or a low end. I mean, there is just, you can find anything. You can find whatever it is that you like, whether it is the lowly hot dog, Chicago's just going to zhuzh that up. Or you can shell out the big bucks and go to one of these multi-Michelin star restaurants and have a dining experience of a lifetime.
I love that you can treat Chicago like a dartboard, and you can just throw a dart, and that community area, that neighborhood, that cross street, wherever you land, probably has some good food within walking distance of it, right? Food is probably the number one thing in this city that brings me to a neighborhood I've never been to, brings me to a block I've never been to. Sure, I go to concerts around the city, street festivals around the city. We've gone out into the field to interview people from the Southeast side all the way up to Jefferson Park. But the tried and true way to get me to experience a new neighborhood, a new group of people, is tell me there's a bomb-ass restaurant over there and I'm hightailing it fast as hell.
I don't know about you, but there's been plenty of times where I've been in different cities or different towns, and there's the one of the issues is like it's kind of hard to find something good, like actually really good. Like yeah, you'll find a decent meal, but like to be like, wow, this is a really good meal, versus in Chicago, I think it's harder to find a bad meal, one that will actually make you go like, damn, this was really bad, or this was just okay. And so yeah, I'm forever grateful for us to live in a city that has been again and again recognized as one of the best food cities in the United States.
Our last guest we want to listen from is our good friend Tonia Hill from the Tribe.
Black-owned dive bars.
Oh, I feel like we've had Black-owned businesses. I feel like we've had dive bars, but Black-owned dive bars in specific. Do you have a favorite?
Yes, City Life on off 83rd near Cottage. So it's between like Evans and Cottage Grove. But yes, karaoke night on Thursdays.
Come on.
Every Thursday. It's like a bar that's kind of sunken in. I've never seen anything like that before. So you walk in and you walk down steps to get to the bar. And yes, it's real cute. I like, in this era, I like being with the aunties and the uncles. They still dance.
Come on.
I can get some food in the back. It's a kitchen in the back. And the pour is heavy and the vibes are always right. So
shout out to City Life. I'm going to need to pull up on them. The first thing when you click on it, it just says old school neighborhood joint.
That's when you know it's about to be fun and it's going to be chill.
Take you to a Facebook page, not even a website. It take you to a Facebook page that just got pictures of old Black women hugging each other in the bar. And I only had to scroll a few to get to some Michael Jordan highlights.
There you go. That's all you need to know.
Shout out to City Life. This reminded me of Cookies. We did an episode about doing Chicago on a budget, like a $50 day. And I went over to Cookies in Chatham, and I was in there with the morning crowd. And you could just feel how close everybody in that bar was. It was like 8:30 a.m. People had just worked the night shift, and people would walk in and the few people in there are applauding. The bartender immediately knows their drink, asking them how their shift was. And so as much as I love a good new cocktail spot, a place that only got 12 seats and some Japanese whiskey. There is something about walking into a place that feels like an old school establishment. I'm glad that Tonia mentioned City Life.
And I love too that she kind of captured the essence of what every old school neighborhood spot should have. The vibes are right, the pour is heavy, and the drinks are relatively priced. What else can you want?
Heavy, cheap, and maybe a little karaoke in the back.
Yep, and the vibes are going to be right.
Michelle, I appreciate you going out into these streets, talking to our fellow Chicagoans. I appreciate you.
Thanks, Jacoby.
Speaking of things we love about the city, it's time for a neighborhood shout out. This is where our members can show some love to a local business or organization. Today's shout out comes from Riley W., who says Martyrs is a family owned music venue on the north side that supports the community and spotlights local musicians. And neighborhood shout outs on the pod and in the newsletter are just one of the perks you get from becoming a CityCast Chicago neighbor. In addition to ad free listening, access to members only events, and an exclusive weekly events preview in your inbox. We want to hear from you. Celebrate the places in and around this city that you love, and we gonna put all the listeners on. You can sign up at membership.citycast.fm. Of course, we can't get out of here without some good news. Let's be real. Halloween season is almost over. We got a little under 2 weeks left. And we got plenty of Halloween events on our events calendar at chicago.citycast.fm, including the Upside Down Parade in Washington Park, the Costume 5K in Portage Park, and a few dance parties from Andersonville to Wicker to the far south side. So please tap in at chicago.citycast.fm. I got one more ask for you before you get up out of here. Make sure you nominate CityCast Chicago as Best Podcast and Best Email Newsletter in the Reader's Best of 2025. We trying to win an unprecedented 5 in a row. I'm gonna be real with you. I don't know if it's unprecedented, but it feels like a rare feat. Again, I'm gonna drop a link for you in the show notes and nominate us under the City Life category. As always, we appreciate you for listening and reading. We're going to be back bright and early tomorrow. We'll talk to you then. Peace.